There comes a moment in every life where the whisper of destiny grows louder than the scream of doubt. A crossroads where you are no longer fighting the world outside, but the war within. Most people never reach that moment. They don't hear destiny speak because they've been silenced by years of self-doubt, distraction, and inherited beliefs. They've been fed fear, spoon by spoon, word by word, until their hunger for greatness starved to death in silence. But not you. You are here because something inside you refuses to die. A voice that will not be quieted. A fire that flickers in the storm, refusing to go out. You may not have figured it all out yet, but you've decided, you are not going to die with your potential still inside you. And that's where the story begins. Because success is not born in talent. It is not handed down by bloodline. It is forged in the fire of decision. It is sculpted by those who are willing to starve their doubts and feed their destiny. Understand this, the most powerful weapon you will ever own is your mindset. Your mind can imprison you, or it can empower you. It can make you bow in fear, or stand like a king in the face of uncertainty. But your mind is not neutral. It is not passive. It is always feeding on something. Feed it worry, and it will multiply fear. Feed it limitation, and it will shrink your vision. Feed it doubt, and it will devour your destiny before you even begin. That's why the greats, Lincoln, Carnegie, Disney, Jobs, they were not obsessed with perfection. They were obsessed with perspective. They knew the battlefield wasn't in the world. It was in the 6 inches between their ears. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But what do most people feed their minds? Noise, negativity, distraction disguised as entertainment, comparison disguised as motivation, and then they wonder why they wake up each day feeling empty. You must become ruthless with what you allow into your mental diet. Refuse to feed your fears. Refuse to dine on mediocrity. Instead, feed your mind with vision, with belief, with bold, unshakable clarity. Because what you focus on grows, and what you starve, dies. Every empire ever built began with belief. Every transformation, every reinvention, every story of someone rising from nothing to everything, began with a single shift. They stopped believing the lie. The lie that says, you're not good enough. The lie that says, this is just the way life is. The lie that says, people like you don't win. Let me tell you something. Every lie you've believed about yourself was planted by someone who had already surrendered to theirs. The world is filled with people who've given up, and their only comfort is convincing you to do the same. But your belief is sacred. It is the soil from which your destiny grows. Starve the belief that says you're limited. Starve the identity that says you're broken. Starve the excuses that let you stay small. And feed the truth that's always been inside you. You were built for more. Believe it, not because the world says so. Not because someone validates you. But because you decide to. The moment you believe in yourself fully, the universe begins to move. People show up. Opportunities open. Circumstances bend. Not because they changed, but because you did. Without a vision, even the strongest minds drift. Without clarity, even the most talented hands build castles on sand. You must know where you are going, not vaguely, not someday, not more money, or better life. You must see it in detail. Feel it, taste it, smell it. It must be real in your mind before it becomes real in your world. Henry Ford saw millions of automobiles in a world still riding horses. Walt Disney saw an empire of imagination in the swamps of Florida. Thomas Edison saw light in a world ruled by darkness. These men weren't lucky, they were clear. They were so deeply married to their vision that failure became a stepping stone, not a stop sign. But clarity is not given. It is earned, through self-reflection, solitude, and decision. You must ask, what does your soul crave? What does your future demand of you? Who must you become to live the life you were born for? Don't wait for the fog to lift. Start walking. Your vision gets sharper with motion. You don't need permission to begin. You need conviction. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a burning reason. Because when your why is strong enough, every how becomes possible. So stop asking if it's meant for you. Start declaring that it is. And then move like your life depends on it, because it does. Here's the paradox of the extraordinary. The fastest way to receive more is to be grateful for what you already have. But gratitude isn't a soft sentiment. It's not passive. It's not about whispering, "Thank you," into the void. Gratitude is power. It is defiance against despair. It is presence under pressure. It is the weapon that transforms what you have into more than enough. You see, when you operate from lack, you shrink. When you operate from gratitude, you expand. Gratitude says, "I may not be where I want to be, but I'm on the path. I may not have all the tools yet, but I am the builder. I may not see the whole staircase, but I'll take the next step with faith." When the world throws noise at you, choose stillness. When the enemy whispers defeat, respond with thankfulness. Because a grateful mind is a mind anchored in strength, not scarcity. Andrew Carnegie once said, "No man becomes rich unless he enriches others." You do not need to wait until you have the castle to express gratitude. Be thankful now, and watch how the foundation of your legacy begins to rise. Faith is not wishing. It's not hoping. It is knowing, without evidence. It is the quiet roar inside you that says, "I was not put on this earth to play small." It's what Edison had in the darkness before the light bulb. It's what Oprah carried when the world told her, no. It's what Steve Jobs leaned on when he was fired from his own company. Faith is seeing the invisible and doing the impossible. Because here's the truth. Fear will always be louder than faith. But faith will always be stronger. You don't need to kill fear to move forward. You just need to starve it. Ignore it. Speak louder than it. Feed your faith with vision. Feed your faith with movement. Feed your faith with the belief that what you desire already exists in the unseen. And then walk as though it's already yours. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your identity. If you still see yourself as the person who gives up, if you still wear the labels others gave you, if you still carry the wounds of yesterday like a name badge, you'll never hold the crown you were meant to wear. Identity is the final battlefield. Not the vision board, not the morning routine, not the next podcast or book or mentor. It's how you see yourself when no one is around. You want to change your results. Change your identity. Stop saying, "I'm trying, I'm hoping, I'm working on it." Start declaring, "I am the kind of person who shows up. I am the kind of person who finishes. I am the kind of person who turns doubt into fuel and pressure into diamonds." Every habit you form, every choice you make, every standard you set, is either strengthening the identity of your future self or feeding the illusion of your past. Be the architect of your identity, and your destiny will have no choice but to rise to meet you. There's one question that echoes in the hearts of those who truly live. What will remain when I'm gone? Not your house, not your car, not the number in your bank account, but the lives you touched, the people you inspired, the example you became. Legacy is not about building a monument. It's about becoming a message. Carnegie didn't just build wealth, he built libraries. Napoleon Hill didn't just write a book, he unleashed a philosophy. Martin Luther King didn't just march, he moved generations. And now, it's your turn. You don't have to change the world tomorrow. But you can change your world today. And if you do it with courage, if you do it with purpose, if you do it with fire in your soul and gratitude in your bones, you will leave a trail so bright, others will find their way by the light you left behind. So stand up, right now, right here, in this very moment, declare it, out loud, with power. I will no longer feed my fears. I will no longer obey my doubts. I will no longer worship comfort over calling. I will starve my doubts, and feed my destiny. And with every breath from this day forward, walk like you've already arrived. You do not become your destiny by wishing for it. You become your destiny by embodying it, long before the results show up. You must walk like the person you've decided to become. Talk like them, move like them, decide like them, lead like them, not when the world gives you permission, but when you finally grant it to yourself. The world does not respond to potential. It responds to presence, to certainty, to the invisible gravity of someone who has already made the inner shift. Winners don't fake it till they make it. They become it before they are it. They raise their standards, ruthlessly. Not because they're perfectionists, but because they understand, mediocrity is a mindset, not a condition. When you tolerate lateness, laziness, and comfort, you trade your kingdom for crumbs. So raise your bar, hold yourself to a level that frightens your old self, and starve every thought, every habit, every person who tells you to slow down. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break patterns and build empires. Success is not an event. It is not a flash of luck or a lottery win. It is a pattern, etched into your calendar. Your mornings are sacred. Your words are sacred. Your time is sacred. If you treat them like trash, don't be surprised when life gives you nothing but garbage. You want to feed your destiny. Feed your rituals. Rise before the excuses. Move your body to break inertia. Speak gratitude aloud so the universe hears your hunger. Visualize until the vision burns brighter than your doubts. Write down your goals every single day like they're already written in stone. Because they are. Discipline is not rigid. It is freedom, disguised as structure. It is the track beneath the train of your purpose. Every morning, you build momentum. Every evening, you reflect and redirect. Your destiny does not come in waves of inspiration. It comes in the grind between inspiration, when no one is watching, but you refuse to stop. Here is the secret they won't teach you in schools. Pain is power, if you learn to transmute it. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every failure, every moment of shame, can become rocket fuel. Not by hiding it, not by pretending it didn't happen, but by owning it, transforming it, channeling it into hunger. The world will try to shame your scars. But your scars are your sword. They prove you didn't run. They prove you survived what others didn't. Hill called it, the seed of equivalent benefit. That inside every adversity lies the opportunity of equal, or greater, magnitude. But only for those brave enough to seek it. So take your pain, and burn it, forge it, shape it into vision, into service, into fuel. And when people ask, how did you do it? Smile and say, I bled for this, I burned for this, and I built my throne from the ashes of my former self. There will come a time, soon, when your name will be mentioned in rooms you haven't walked into yet. Where people will feel your impact before they ever meet you. Where your story will be told, not because it was easy, but because it was earned. You were not chosen by accident. There is a reason you didn't give up when others did. A reason you're still standing. A reason you're still searching. Still building. Still fighting. Because destiny is real. Because legacy is calling. Because you were made for war, and for wonder. So here is your final command. Kill the excuses. Bury the doubt. Burn the script of your past. And rise into the future you were born for. Because if not now, when? If not you, who? You don't need one more sign. You don't need another permission slip. You don't need more time. You need fire. You need faith. You need finality. This is the hour. This is the vow. Starve your doubts. Feed your destiny. And never look back. Greater than if this message sparked something inside you. If it reminded you of who you truly are. Then don't keep this to yourself. Like this video to honor the voice inside you that refuses to give up. Subscribe, not just to this channel, but to the highest version of yourself. And share this with someone you love, someone who's still trapped in silence, someone who just needs to hear one spark, to light their fire again. Let's not just consume motivation. Let's build a movement of dreamers, believers, builders, and warriors. This is not just content. This is a call to rise. And if you're ready, we rise together.